Let's stick with Amazon. So Amazon made an announcement yesterday, and you can also read this on my Forbes article. Amazon announced that in 2021, it will have invested or spent $120 billion on third-party supplies and services in 2021. And it's funny. This is right on the heels of saying the PPI saying that Amazon is the largest investor in America in terms of any type of investment. That's capex, and that's even hiring people. And I think this is important. Amazon deservedly gets some heat in a lot of things, but I think most of the press takes a glass half empty approach to the company. I think primarily because Jeff Bezos is the richest man on the planet. And it's so powerful. And listen, I don't want anybody to confuse that with, I do think that the third party independent press should always be keeping people accountable. But I think it has gone a little bit overboard, and things are viewed in different types of lens. And let's face it, if you're beat and all you do is write about Amazon, you've got nothing to write about Amazon about, and something pops up that could be controversial or make a good headline, I think you're naturally going to write about that. So it's just balance. And the reason that I wrote this article was to give some balance to the conversation. And I think it's also important that anybody who is looking at antitrust actions and potentially weakening Amazon in some way, shape, or form also understands the investments that the company is making. And by the way, I would never say that would ever overshadow anything that would be antitrust or abusing antitrust. But I think looking at these things holistically is important. And when I look at how it's well above the minimum wage, it is a decade ahead of the Paris Accord on the environment. It's the nation's largest employer at this point. That's not government. I think all those things need to be taken and looked at.
Yeah, because of our time and we need to keep the show moving, I could talk about this topic for an hour. 150 billion invest in the U.S. in small and mid-sized companies. This is an absolute boondoggle for all this antitrust talk. This wouldn't be one-to-one distributed out through a less capable platform. This is based upon growth. This is a growing ecosystem that has massive implications for small business and creates and validates small businesses in a way that would be very difficult for them to do for themselves. When it comes to antitrust, breaking up these companies, I've written a piece, I wrote a headline in MarketWatch that said specifically, treat Amazon differently when you talk about big tech regulation, because it's a different thing than an app store. It's a different thing. It just is, and it needs to be looked at. These things sometimes don't want to be considered, but they should be